Hey guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. So we often hear that it's important to put money away. Yes. You're like, okay, where do I do that? Where do I put this money away if I want to build wealth or I need savings? Like, what is that? What do I do? So it can be very confusing figuring out what specific accounts that you need. So we're going to talk about it. So we're going to list out the financial accounts that everyone needs to have. First and foremost, good old savings account. Yep. Now, there is a difference between a savings account and a money market account, sort of. A money market account, you actually earn a little bit more in interest, which is a good thing than a traditional savings account, but they're basically the same. You want check writing privileges out of both, which is really key. And even if it comes with a debit card, that is a plus. Now, mostly like a money market account, you can't use it as a checking account, so you can only use like 6 transactions a month tops, or you start to get penalized. So it's really there just to let your money grow. But that's where Winston and I put our savings. We have 2 money market accounts from the same bank. We use Ally Bank online. So we have an emergency fund line. That's just our emergency fund that we don't touch. I like to see it there, just know it's there. In case everything hits the fan, there it is. And then any extra savings that we have, we put in the other account. So we usually see those 2 numbers very close together, which is very helpful. So if we have a big purchase that we have to make or something and we use money out of our money market account, we have a check that we can write and it makes it very easy. Now, George Camel, other Ramsey personality, he just loves a traditional savings account. He's happy with that for his emergency fund, which is great. But either way, having a savings account is really important. Next is a checking account. Yep, one that everyone needs. And since you're not using credit cards, right? Yeah, you need a debit card. Yep. And so that helps with your checking account, all of your expenses. It's wherever your paychecks hit and you spend money out of, but just a traditional checking account is awesome. Now, for me personally, I like having a checking account with a local bank because I just like the idea of knowing the people. And if you need something, there's more of a personal connection, or a credit union is another great option. I personally don't care for like the big national banks because you just are a number. And again, I understand that there's a lot, but I like a state-specific bank personally, so that's what we use here in Tennessee. Next, retirement accounts. So these can be in different types of accounts. So you have a 401k or a 403b, and this is with your company, or a 403b is if you work for a nonprofit or a school or the government. And this is where an employer usually will match you. So you put in, 3% of your income and they will match you 3%. Whatever it is, they will match, or you can put more in if you'd like, but it's run through your company. There's also Roth IRAs, which are fantastic. There's income limits for these. So there's a thing called backdoor Roths if you make too much to qualify for a traditional Roth IRA. And you can only put in so much per year. Now, a traditional IRA is where you put money in before you're taxed. And so that money goes in, and then you basically get the tax deduction from the money that is left in your paycheck that you'll pay taxes on in April. A Roth IRA, you put money in after you pay taxes. So taxes are paid, it's the money you take home, you put that money in the Roth IRA. And I like this option better, even though I understand it's like, oh man, it's after taxes are taken out and all of it. So it hurts a little bit more in the present, but it grows tax-free. So that word Roth, remember that, you guys, this is huge. And some companies even offer a Roth 401k, which is like, yes, so great. So you're only gonna do your retirement accounts once you are debt-free with a fully funded emergency fund. But yeah, investing, definitely a place that you're gonna have some accounts. Okay, you guys, it's fall, and I get it. It is so tempting to spend on all the fall things, from family outings to all the festivals, and of course, the clothes, the sweaters, the boots, the jeans, the hats. There is so much cute fall stuff, but just make sure that you are budgeting for it. And I've got a tip for making that budget go way further on all the styles you love. It's called Jane. Jane brings you new deals every day from thousands of small women-owned businesses and designer brands. You can get up to 65% off all the fall looks that you'll love. So check it out, you guys. Go to jane.com/Rachel. Now, there are also some financial accounts that you're going to need based on your situation. So if you have kids, you'll probably have some college savings accounts. So there's ESAs, educational savings accounts. But there's an income limit to those, and you can only put in so much money per year. So if you want to put in more money, or again, you make too much to qualify for an ESA, there's 529s, which are awesome as well. I would be very specific on what 529 account that you pick. I don't like state-specific or prepaid tuition 529s, so look at ones with your financial advisor that gives you some good options. But these are both great options to save for your kids' college because, again, they grow tax-free, which is great. Next, you may want a sinking fund. So this would be if you know, hey, we're gonna replace a car soon, or maybe we have a big vacation we're saving up for. Anything that's more of a big purchase, a sinking fund is great, which means that you save money per month leading up to your big purchase. So say you have $1,000 purchase coming up and it's in 10 months. So you're gonna save $100 for 10 months. And some people open up a brand new savings account just for sinking funds so that it's not in your checking because you may end up spending that money. And so keeping track of it in a separate account, some people love that. And so that's a great option as well. Also a business account if you own your own business, especially if you're doing like a side hustle, or you're doing freelance work, or you're just starting something maybe from home. I would keep those separate than your personal accounts because it's so easy to mix them together, and then it can get really confusing of how much money's in there, how much should I use to reinvest, and all of that. So if you have your own business, I really recommend keeping those things separate to keep it clean for tax purposes and also just to keep track of what's going on. All right, it's pretty much that simple, you guys. I'm sure there's some other things that will come out in the future that we'll talk about, but when it comes to winning with money and building wealth long-term, there's not a bunch of fancy secrets. Honestly, that's it. That's a pretty great plan. If you think about it, if you're out of debt, you have a fully funded emergency fund and a good money market, you got your checking and your budgeting every single month, you're putting money into your Roth IRA and your 401k, all the time, and that's building, and your kids have their college savings. This is a great plan. It really is. You're gonna see advice all over the internet that's like, do this and take that, and take that money here, and this interest here, and borrow that, and then so you can do this, and go through this, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't have to be that complicated. Building wealth over the long term usually is not fancy, it's not exciting, it's not a secret. It's just being consistent day in and day out. And these accounts are here to help you do that and to build wealth, to change your family tree and be extremely generous. So make sure to share this video with someone that you want to see win when it comes to building wealth. And remember, you guys, to take control of your money and create a life you love.